pleased to be joined now by Sarah Raymore, otherwise known as DJ Applejuice, the founder and creator of Babe House, a national solidarity network with chapters in Seattle and Detroit. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you. Appreciate you reaching out.
Absolutely. Appreciate having you on. So for those that maybe are unfamiliar with this National Solidarity Network, Babe House, tell us a little bit about the organization and the great work that you do to help a lot of people in our communities here in the Detroit area and all throughout the U.S.
Yeah, so we started off as a collective in Seattle in 2018 when I lived out there for a few years. I moved out there, tried to find myself. And long story short, I finally came out as queer, trans, and had a group of people that were also queer and trans that we were trying to find a space for ourselves, which was, basically the start of Babe House, where we all collected as friends and we started doing monthlies at a venue called Raymore. And we just created these safe places, these safe spaces for QT, BIPOC, LGBTQ, BIPOC artists and musicians. And so I put it on the back burner when COVID hit for a little while and tried to get my life together coming back home, and then rebranded last winter during the second lockdown. And now we have a chapter in Indiana, which I have the t-shirt from the artist that we just have added to the roster, Cleaner. And so, yeah, we have Detroit with a few artists on the chapter in Detroit. And we're just trying to build more notoriety just to make sure people understand what our mission is, and to, create awareness for QT BIPOC being the center of leadership for solidarity.
And there are so many different places in society that, and so many different, especially in pop culture and music and entertainment of all different kinds, that QT, BIPOC, and LGBTQ communities have played such a huge role in. But like in many other areas of our society, in a way that is frankly ridiculous and should never be that way, they've been pushed to the side. Their voices have not been heard. And so it's important for communities that have been marginalized to have a place of a collective voice where they can share those experiences, because they're often just simply not being listened to in other places in society, and they need that safe space where they can communicate with one another and work through the problems that the rest of our society still has yet to catch up and say, we need to help these communities as well, because they are our neighbors, they are our friends.
Yeah, I completely agree. That's pretty much the reason why I created the organization. I think it's important that if we are trying to get through to the road to solidarity, that we consider the people who are the most marginalized, which are QT BIPOC. And this organization helps elevate those voices and elevate those lives with resources along with a platform.
We're joined by Sarah Raymore, otherwise known as DJ Applejuice. She is the founder and creator of Babe House, a national solidarity network. You can learn more information about the organization by visiting their website at babehouse.org, where you can also learn more about their upcoming events, as well as donate as well to help them with all of their programs. And so, Sarah, what are some of the programs that are provided through this organization that help to create that solidarity and create that network of communication and an outlet for people in QT BIPOC communities to communicate with one another and express themselves in a safe community?
Well, we create events. That's specifically what we do. And we do monthlies across the U.S., whether it's in Seattle or in Detroit. Slowly building more things around the country. As far as programs, we're looking for any type of alliance with other organizations that want to help us along by co-opting with other things that we could do within the community. We've worked with Ruth Ellis Center, and we've also worked with the City of Detroit They've helped us, kind of find resources to reach out to other people who would be interested in supporting us. And the safe spaces that we create could be geared towards DIY or entertainment, nightlife culture. And yeah, we're just hoping to hear more from artists that are interested in having a platform, whether it's on Instagram, doing promotion. I do free promotion for artists. And the big thing that we're working on right now is funding for organizations so we can continue the mission and expand. So as far as that goes, yeah, that's where we're going towards right now, just so we can have more outlets in the future.
And it's so important, too, that those outlets continue to be provided and continue to be expanded, which is why it's so exciting to hear that news from you today, that an Indiana chapter of Babe House has begun as well, because especially in dance music genres, which have more mass appeal today than ever before, the QT, BIPOC, and LGBTQ communities, communities of color, have had such a colossal impact on the development of those genres of music, but are often not given or rarely, not often, but rarely are given the credit and the recognition and the platform for those kinds of music that they have pioneered and that so many people in our society enjoy.
That's right, and there's a lot of people who are involved in the culture, but that may not know that. As far as the roots of a lot of cultures, where you see rock and roll with Rosetta Tharpe, and just a lot of people who were queer and trans that created a lot of dance music, punk, things like that. So it's basically Babe House is an umbrella for all of that, where we encompass not only dance music, but every kind of genre that involves QT BIPOC artists. So
we're joined by Sarah Raymore, otherwise known as DJ Applejuice. She is the founder and creator of Babe House, a national solidarity network. You can find out more about this organization as well as donate by visiting their website at babehouse.org. That also has links to all of their social media, including Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and gives you an opportunity to contact them as well, especially if you are in one of these QT BIPOC communities here in Detroit, in Seattle, in Indiana, where they also have chapters are all throughout the U.S., where you can get more information about joining a network of people that have created a safe space and modes for communication and expression in our QT BIPOC communities. And so, Sarah, I just want to ask, as the founder of this organization, what inspired you to found this organization and then to continue to operate and expand it throughout the U.S.?
That's a really good question. So as far as the inspiration, it would be through moving away and trying to find myself in a community that I felt like I didn't have to mute myself. I didn't have to conform to any biases and things like that. And Seattle definitely taught me that. Seattle gave me the room to expand the way I feel about myself, being queer and trans, and knowing that they prioritize communities so much. And there's a lot of people in those communities doing the continuous work to keep evolving through solidarity. That that was mainly community is what really inspired me, and Seattle helped me grow into that and bring that kind of that love and inspiration to Detroit. So I came home and tried to reconfigure my life and figure out who am I here again, and got back into tune with myself after changes in my life. And then I just realized, during COVID, during the lockdown, it's necessary to have this work done. And not many people have the opportunity to have this kind of platform. So I decided to just keep remaining, continuing the work, and in hopes that, it goes as far as it can. So, yeah.
We're joined by Sarah Raymore, otherwise known as DJ Applejuice. She is the founder and the creator of Babe House, a national solidarity network with chapters in Detroit, in Seattle, where it was founded in 2018, and now also in Indiana as well. And Sarah, it's so important that these communities continue to expand and that we have leaders like you in these communities that are creating these safe spaces, because for so many people in the QT BIPOC community and LGBTQ communities and communities of color, it can be so painstaking. I can only imagine, as this is that white man on the outside looking in, to take those steps to live your true self and live your true existence, especially in a world that continues to just be so cruel to these communities. So I want to give you some time to also provide some information on upcoming events and fundraising efforts so that people in these communities and outside of these communities can provide your organization with the support that it needs to help continue to provide these opportunities for people to have their voices heard and to live their true lives.
Thank you. That was very well said. So we have a fundraiser, our first fundraiser in Detroit. It's an official first fundraiser for Babe House. It will be announced as far as the address, because it's a private location. It'll be announced on Facebook and Instagram, where you can DM us if you want the address. And it's a fundraiser to create more funding for our organization. We've never had one before, and we're trying to make the best of it. And we have about 10 QT BIPOC artists as well. And some from Seattle, some from Detroit, an Indiana artist, cleaner. So we're just trying to celebrate the livelihoods of QT BIPOC, and to be able to celebrate coming together as a community and just trying to create some community wealth amongst each other, along with providing the work that we showcase, and in hopes to just keep the mission going.
You can learn more information about Babe House and all their efforts, all their upcoming events, as well as many of their artists in QT BIPOC communities, and find some of their work by going to the Babe House's website at babehouse.org. You can also follow them on many social media, including Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. All of those handles are BabeX House, at BabeX House, on any of those social media platforms. And so, Sarah, before just a few minutes left with you today, and as your organization continues to inspire so many QT BIPOC voices to collect as a community, to make an impact on the greater community as well, and to provide those safe spaces and those communication platforms and those expressive platforms, I want to give you an opportunity and I want to ask, who inspires you? Who has inspired you in these efforts? People in the past, people that you have worked in solidarity with in these efforts, to provide these platforms that are so important, especially in the world we live in today.
Definitely Martha P. Johnson, Ardrey Lord, Ruth Ellis, and mostly the activists that had been overlooked even in their prime, in the Black Panther Party, and during the civil rights, and Stonewall.
We're joined by Sarah Raymore, otherwise known as DJ Applejuice. She is the founder and creator of Babe House, a national solidarity network. Learn more information about them, as well as get access to upcoming events, as well as music and other art from QT BIPOC artists at their website, babehouse.org. And Sarah, we have a few more minutes left with you today, so before we let you go, anything else that you want to say at this time to the QT BIPOC community, to the greater community, or anything else that would be interesting or important for our audience to know about Babe House's work at this time?
I think the root of this culture, and the fact that we are all in this together, that we should consider QT BIPOC leadership as an important role and figure into the road towards solidarity.
And we appreciate it. We appreciate your time and telling us so much about your organization that in multiple cities across the U.S. and hopefully more as time goes on is making such a great impact in QT BIPOC communities and therefore on the greater community as well.
Thank you.